People deserve to be called out for not sharing basic decency. Welcome back to the Humaning Well podcast. My name is Cabral. Thank you for joining me today. So I'm gonna start with a quick story. The other day, a friend of mine was visiting for Memorial Day weekend, and we were leaving my parking garage to get on the elevator to go up to my place. And so while we were, getting on the elevator, we were still talking to each other, and there was a gentleman that was in there, but he was, tucked off in the corner, and we both looked at him, but he did not look back, right? He was very obviously and awkwardly avoiding eye contact. I mean, big, full grown man, not a child in any way. Anyway, since he kind of gave us this weird eye contact, we kind of looked at each other and we just continued our conversation and just didn't really speak because he was kind of awkward. So anyway, he's standing there, and moments later, my friend looks down and notices that we are standing in what appears to be animal urine. Okay. And she goes, "Oh my God, is this dog piss?" And so, of course, I look down and I'm like, "Oh my God, did we step in it?" And I'm we're both kind of stagger stepping, trying to find how to step, appropriately. I have on sandals. So I'm trying not to get splashed. And I mean, I'm totally grossed out. I'm trying to make my adjustments. And I just turned around and I looked at the man and I was like, "Why didn't you tell us when we were getting on the elevator that it was something on the floor?" So he kind of looks kind of awkward and lets out this this awkward laugh. And I was like, "I'm not kidding. It would have been nothing for you to just say, 'Hey ladies, as you're getting on the elevator, be careful, there's something on the floor.' Why not choose to do that?" So this man stays silent, says nothing. I turn back around, I face the elevator door, and we take the rest of the ride up to my place in silence. And I've seen him before. He lives in the building. So anyway, I'm so annoyed. I'm super disappointed. I'm irritated with the entire encounter. Actually, I'm hot about it because seriously. Anyway, I'm sharing this because I need people to know that while I have this nice, calm radio voice and I make a practice of being a kind person and I work to be emotionally regulated, humaning well also means that I'm gonna hold that ass accountable for basic respect, even if you are a stranger in an elevator. What is wrong with you being humane enough to say to your neighbors, because let's be clear, he lives here, "Hey, there's a mess right here. What's wrong with that? Why can't we do that?" It's so just incredibly juvenile. And to me, people deserve to be called out for not sharing basic decency. And I'm going to do it openly every single time. I am of the opinion that when we let people kind of just slide on basic human courtesy and decency and respect, we allow room for people to take other liberties. And personally, I am tired of people taking other liberties. And I don't want to invite people to have the opportunity to take other liberties with how they treat others. And so I'm just not with it. If you are going to be publicly inconsiderate, I am going to make you uncomfortable about it. I want y'all to know that I give you a lot of tips to make yourself feel whole and complete and confident and resilient. But humaning well is not just about being easygoing. It's about being anchored so that even when the moment is hard, you don't abandon what's right. So in today's episode, I want to clear up confusion about what humaning well is and what it is not. First and foremost, humaning well is full spectrum accountability, decision-making, and behavior, especially when it's inconvenient. It is choice, it's courage, it's clarity. Sometimes it's uncomfortable. Sometimes it's disruptive, but it is always intentional. Humaning well is not a mood or a vibe. It's not soft life aesthetics or some calm, gentle, constant energy. It is not the absence of discomfort or a performative type of grace. It is not being artificially unbothered. It is not skipping over anger or confrontation. It is not performing kindness while letting people walk all over your boundaries. It is not being likable. It is about being a whole, responsible, aware, communicative human who takes ownership of their choices and their impact. It is about understanding that how you behave and what you allow sets the social standard for you, for your family, for your community, and as a result of all of that, grander experience of the world. Humaning well means that you are willing to make decisions that reflect your values, the values that we share, even when they're uncomfortable, even when they interrupt someone else's foolishness or their comfort, even when they cost you immediate approval. You should say something when someone is being inconsiderate in community, like the elevator dude, or if someone's being disrespectful in public. You should address when a coworker is being treated dismissively, and you should step in. You should hold firm to your boundaries and expectations for treatment. And when it's not met, you should refuse patronage. You should say no to an opportunity because it violates your ethics or energy. You should fire someone or end a relationship, not because they're a bad person, but because their behavior isn't aligned. All of these tactics that I drop in these episodes are not me coaching you to sit back and allow people to run over you while you stay super zen about it. What I want Humaning Well to do is give you the resilience to navigate life's challenges, not teach you to feign softness like challenges don't exist. I want you to learn emotional regulation, not act like nothing bothers you. You may sometimes feel angry or irritated or sad or hurt or disappointed, because here's the thing, being emotionally regulated doesn't mean that you don't feel things. It means that you choose how you are going to reply or respond instead of being overrun or consumed by your feelings. It means that you have the resilience to feel your feelings and make a decision. I chose to say something to the dude in the elevator. I chose what to say to hold him accountable. I chose what I said, fully aware that he would probably be uncomfortable, because I hope that he understands that the consequences of not being a good community member includes being called out about it. Humaning Well is not a framework for emotional perfection or easy living. It is a framework for resilience. And resilience sometimes means that you got to make a hard call. It means you understand that your health, your wealth, your relationships, your growth are interconnected, and you are committed to moving like they matter. It means that you're not outsourcing your values in favor of convenience. It means that you are not trading your integrity for applause or ease. Humaning Well is not a personal journey. It is a collective responsibility. All of us should be humaning well. I know I sound annoyed. I am. But to live well with others, we must agree on a few basic things. One is that dignity matters. Another is that respect is not optional. And the third is that silence in the face of harm or disrespect or negligence is doing nothing but inviting more of what we don't want. Sometimes humaning well means calling someone in or calling something out, or standing up in a moment where it would be easier to shut up and move on. Just look at life and you can see the kind of residual community harm that happens when silence is prioritized over dignity. Look at the Diddy trial, or even Epstein before him. It's not always gonna feel good. It's not always about that. It's about doing what's right for our shared humanity. It's about actively living out the awareness that I am not free if you're not. I am not safe if you're not. I am not respected if you're not. And when I allow any of that to happen in my spaces, I am encouraging more of it. And let me just also add this point. There's also data for this. I try to give y'all some data every episode. There's data going back into the 80s about how predators can sniff out people who they can take advantage of. Like, they can pick up on if you are a potential good victim based on your body language, based on how you move, based on whether or not you're gonna say something. So practicing holding people to a certain behavioral standard in your presence is actually good health and safety hygiene for all of us. Do your part. Humaning well might sound cute. I like it too. Let me be very clear. But this is a daily practice of alignment, of bravery, of integrity, of intentional choice. To human well means that you take full responsibility for how you live, how you lead, and how you show up. And if you've been putting off having the hard conversation because it could get messy, Humaning well asks that you do it anyway, but with care. If you've been letting things slide that violate your dignity, humaning well asks that you name it and act. Or if it violates your respect, you address it and make an adjustment. If you've been conflating wellness with silence or comfort or perfection, it is time to reframe. Humaning well is not just about calm mornings and playing with Legos. And trust me, I love those things to death. They mean everything to me. It is about showing up, even when it's hard, even when you're mad, even when the easiest thing to do is nothing. If you take nothing else from this episode, take this. Your humanity is not defined by how little you feel or how little friction or discomfort you encounter. It is defined by what you do. Show care, set standards, speak up. And if you're not sure where to start with the small things. Start with when you see somebody with lipstick or lettuce in their teeth, you say something. Start with letting folks know that their fly is open. Start with, hey, there is piss on the elevator floor. Because honestly, the world shifts slowly and quietly, but powerfully when we take each other seriously, when we hold each other with some regard, when we show that basic decency isn't optional, that being human isn't just about being kind, but it also comes with accountability. Okay, that's the episode. Thanks for listening. Please share, like, comment, all of those wonderful podcast things, and I will see you next week.